Reality. Reality receipts.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast, starring me, Story Time with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley, and we are back to talk about Love Island USA season 7 episode 30, and boy do we have a lot to talk about. This was quite the episode. A lot went down. We were talking during the airing of it because it was so shocking. Obviously we'll get into the Sierra of it all, but we'll start at the beginning of the episode. I feel like
I go in order because I didn't
Yes.
go in order. I skipped right to the end and was like,
Yeah, like somebody's not there. So then we got to go back and watch and figure out how the heck they got there. So I feel like we need a disclaimer before we get into this because the first person we're going to talk about is Huda because it's the first scene of the episode. Obviously, you guys know by this point that like it's not that we don't like her. We weren't a fan of her behavior, and we personally don't feel like we've seen enough of a change to be like we love her now, we get her, and that's all. Like that's just our opinion. We're gonna talk about it from our opinion. We're always gonna be real with you guys. Like some of you guys don't like Shelly and Alandria. We're okay with that. We like them. We get it. We're all gonna not agree, but like, yeah, we just don't want you listening to this thinking we're going to suddenly change our mind or suddenly love Huda if we never have. So if you don't want to hear any sort of commentary or criticisms of her, like we don't blame you if you don't want to hear this episode. We're going to have lots of more fun stuff coming up. We got Perfect Match coming. We might do Bachelor in Paradise. So we just disagree on this one little thing, but we still love you guys.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and everybody doesn't have to agree. We're not here to sway your opinion of her, and you shouldn't be trying to sway our opinion of her. That's what do they say? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and everybody's
Yes.
is different. Okay, so if our opinion doesn't align with yours, that doesn't mean you have to hate us or be mean to us or leave crazy comments.
Or like poor Andrina's section. I don't know if you guys have looked at Andrina's Instagram, but the people that love Huda for some reason are hating her. I guess because she mentioned her slamming the drawers, and that has just thrown them into a tizzy. So very mean things they're saying about her in her section, which it does happen on these shows. We know people are passionate. We like the passion, but also I think just because you love someone doesn't mean you have to like get mad that someone else disagrees with them. If someone treated them like the way Huda treated Jeremiah, someone yelled at her, called her a bitch, whatever, like, yeah, that might need some passionate defending. But if someone is simply just saying like, I'm not really a fan, like, it is what it is.
Yeah,
We're all gonna like different
not
people.
everybody has to dislike her, and not everybody has to like her. Period. So if you can't handle our opinion because it doesn't align with yours,
but we do
that's just like what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like I have people on my TikTok be like, oh my God, like I love her. Like, and I usually agree with you on everything. And like, but I'll be back after the season's over. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like we can all exist in the same space, but it does get a little frustrating that you can't honestly share your opinion. Like obviously we're here to keep it real. We're not here to censor ourselves or be censored. We're just here speaking it how it is and how we view it. There's many times where me and Ashley have opposite opinions about people, and it doesn't I went to a baby shower and there was a Huda lover and we were just having discourse. She wasn't trying to change my opinion. I wasn't trying to change hers. So we were just having nice discourse about it. And it's fun. It's supposed to be fun. Like y'all it doesn't have to be that serious.
If we all agreed on everything, it would be no reason to recap it or give our opinion because everyone would have the same opinion and it would just be so boring. Because it's fun there's people that like this person and they don't like that person and this is their reasoning and that's the whole point of you guys listening. And we do appreciate you sharing your comment. Like if you want to say, but I like her because of this reason, that's great. Comment that all day, but just not like getting angry about it because obviously people accuse Huda of just being a little bit angry and irrational. So when her fans are also really mean in the comment section, you're kind of like, what's going on here? Like, is this Is this
Yeah,
why you
there's
like
no
her?
reason to
'Cause
be angry, right? We don't know these people.
yeah,
It's okay. Like,
totally.
there's no need to get angry or get your panties in a bunch. Like, it's just like we can all talk about it. And like you said, like I actually really like hearing the discourse of why people do like her and
Yeah,
how they do relate to her and what positive changes they feel they see in her. I'm so open to that. But it's like
yeah.
just because you see it doesn't mean that I have to see it the same way.
No. Yeah, tell us what your opinion is or why you feel differently. That we love. That's great.
Yeah.
Just don't get
Yeah.
mad about it
So starting
because
off the episode, she was talking to Chris and she was fishing for him to close shit off.
yes, and I have seen this commentary a lot online, so this is not just us. This is how a lot of people feel seeing it. Was very odd of her to say, "I can't believe no one kissed me," and he seemed a little shocked about it too. So,
Yeah, he was like, "What do you
because
mean? Nobody kissed you?" And she's like, "Well, because we're not closed off."
like, so change that.
Yes, so that's how it read to me, right? Like, well,
Mhm.
because we're not closed off. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. So
Yeah,
I read it as like
yeah,
a hint to close things off.
yeah.
But if you disagree with that, let us know how you read it. What do you think that meant? I read it as a hint to close things off, and
Mhm.
I think they're only a few days in, so it might be a little early for him to close things off. I know in Love Island land, it seems like we're like months in at
Yes,
this point, but I think we're only a few days since
yeah,
she's been coupled up with Chris.
yeah, and yeah, it's just the little hints like that. And she just doesn't speak like directly to him, like, and also it's so close to the end. That's why people aren't kissing her. I felt like we mentioned this in our last episode. I said all the kisses were kind of boring. We knew who was going to kiss who. It wasn't like the other challenges where people are still like testing things out and seeing if they like this person better or that person better. Like we knew who was going to kiss who, and I didn't think it was weird. So then to hear her start off the episode saying, that was weird that no one kissed me, it was like, what do you mean by that? Like, we didn't think that, like, who else would have kissed her, really, is what I'm
No
wondering.
one, and she said it for the point of saying because we're open.
Yeah.
We're not closed off, so I could kiss whoever I want.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So that was just our opinion. But if you felt differently, let us know
Mhm.
nicely. Or not. Do what you want. And yeah, she calls him brother, which I was like, what is that
A
about?
lot of people have been commenting on her calling him brother.
Yeah. Like,
Mhm.
I've heard bro, like people say bro, but like, why brother? Just is that like a pet name, or maybe we missed that part?
I don't know. There has been discourse online of like, maybe something else she wants to say. I don't know. I know she said it with Jeremiah too. I
Oh, okay,
haven't.
I missed
I
that. That's why I
haven't
was like, is
heard,
this just a
maybe
her and
I
Chris
haven't
thing?
heard her speak that way to anyone else,
Mm-hmm.
like any other person. So I don't really know. Maybe that's just like part of her lingo. Maybe that's just how she, talks
Yeah,
to
I just feel
guys.
like if I'm dating someone or thinking of them in like a sexual way, like brother is not top of my list to call them
Yeah,
something
same.
brother.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's like I don't know, like I would take it as like a friend zone, but I don't think she's friend
yeah,
zoning him. She's
it's like
clearly
mixed
not
signals.
friend zoning him. I don't think she's friend zoning him. Maybe that's just a word she uses in her vocabulary, like babe. Like,
Yes,
you know?
I think I wrote that down. I was like, yeah, because or
Babe.
someone else. I can't remember. Someone else used another word too, and it's like, yeah, everyone has their own version of babe that they say. so, so then we saw Clark and Taylor's little picnic. So, what did you think? Are they growing on you at all?
No. The thing is they're
That's
not
fair.
growing on as a couple. I like Clark. I think she's beautiful. I think she's a better fit for Taylor. I think we're seeing a different side of Taylor. I do think that they make like the fact that Taylor even planned a date for her when we have never seen him plan a date for Alandria besides the
hmm
dance thing, which wasn't really an intimate cutesy date like what he did for Clark. I feel like it's cute. Unfortunately, I think the audience is going to have a hard time getting past the way Taylor did it.
Yeah.
Um, and I think he's out of time because we voted for our favorite couple. So I do think that Clark and Taylor are going to be going home. And if two couples get to go home, I do think it might be Clark and Taylor and Iris and Pepe, because I don't know, I was on live last night and not a lot of people actually said in the comments that they voted for. I don't think I
Oh, no,
had
really?
one person say they voted for Taylor and Clark. A few voted for Iris and Pepe, but I thought it was a cute date.
Yeah.
Some people have said that they think that Taylor likes Clark more than she likes him. What do you think?
I could see that for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that Taylor's super into Clark, especially after we saw him with Alandria. So we kind of have like something to compare it to now, right? Like how he is when he's not obsessed with someone. And it's hard to say for her because she went in there kind of knowing, I wouldn't say that he's necessarily really well liked. He was with Alandria. So I think she knew it would be smart to like be with him in the long run if people can get over how it all went down. But
Yeah.
I have seen some comments say they do like them and it's so they do seem to really like each other, so it's hard to be mad at them for that. But the way it went down is hard to get
Yeah, I
past.
think that's what's hard to get past. And honestly, I think that if they had more time, people would get past it. Real,
Yeah,
genuinely and truly,
totally.
because people move on so quick in Love Island land. Like, like
Mhm.
I forgot that I was so mad at Ace and the posse when when Jeremiah
Yeah.
went, and I'm like, they're not winning on my watch. And then I'm like, oh, I kind of forgot. I don't like Nick. I'm forgetting why I don't like Ace. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you forget. So things change, opinions change all the time. So I do think if they had a little bit more time, people could get on board.
Yeah.
I think they're out of time. It's at the end, so people didn't
Yeah,
vote. So
they would need a few more like dramatic, like sort of bad things happen with other couples, more recouplings in a weird, like more like recouplings like theirs for theirs to kind of be forgotten. But it's
yeah,
like that doesn't
yeah,
seem like there's not going to be anyone else get kind of like screwed over. So it's
yeah.
like
And
that.
Alandria is handling it well. She seems to be she's taking it on the chin, and she
Mhm.
seems okay
That
with the
was
fact that they're together now.
that was so funny when Nick asked her though, and she was like, he's like, "How did you feel when he was the bottom?" Like,
I
and she's
felt
like,
great.
"Good, yeah." I like that she kept it real like that because it's true. I'm sure it did make her feel supported at least, so that's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was like an indicator, right? Like that America likes you, Alandria, and they don't necessarily appreciate what Taylor did to you or how he went about it. So I think
Yeah.
that was definitely some validation for her.
Yeah. And Amaya was a hot commodity this episode. Oh
Yes,
my gosh. They
yeah,
were like begging, crawling,
yes.
kissing her feet. It was good to see finally for her to get
Yes,
that.
but it's also like genuineness, right? Like that it really sucks that, she went through a phase where no one stood on her heart, and nobody, she's had such a difficult journey in here to now you
Hmm.
guys are scrambling like damn roaches trying to act like you like her. And I don't
Yeah.
like that, because it's like, to me, Elin, I haven't seen you have one conversation with Amaya. Zach, we literally heard you say how much you don't like her and how much she is too much. And I don't know if he's just trying to get some camera time in these moments and like have these big moments, but then you realize, like, oh, I'm in a game and this is my best bet to stay in the house and get more airtime. So now let me grovel at her feet. And some
Hmm.
people don't believe Brian's genuineness because he didn't show an interest in her up until this point. I think
Yeah.
that Brian had tunnel vision for Andrina because she is just so gorgeous, and like, that's who I would
Hmm.
have had my eye on too. And then it's like, obviously, looks aren't everything. Their personalities weren't compatible. And I think maybe he got to know Amaya a little bit more and seen they have, similar cultures and things like that. So I haven't gotten the feel that Brian is disingenuine, but
No.
some people have.
Yeah, I feel like when you see them together, like just watching all three of those conversations, like they do seem genuine. They seem to really click. So it's hard to not feel like he's genuine when you watch her with those other two men and see what not genuine is. Like Zach screwed himself so bad in that challenge where they were already piling on her, Ace and Austin. And had he literally just in that moment said, like, defended her in any way and stood up for her in any way, like we would have bought that he did kind of feel a bit for her and that maybe grew. But he went at her in that challenge, and the only thing that changed his mind was seeing that America liked her. So he just couldn't not come back from that at all.
Yeah. Yeah. and again trying to get a moment, and it's like the moment was Brian defending her, and that's ultimately what made
Yes.
her choose Brian, is because he
Mhm.
did defend her in that moment, you know, and I think
Mhm.
that that meant a lot to her. And yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, like Zach changed his tone when you realize after that vote. And even I think a lot of people in that challenge was like, oh, that wasn't on my bingo card, I didn't expect that, like
Mhm.
with Amaya being number one. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's too late for Zach, but I do like her and Brian. I hope he's genuine. Either way, I think he defended her when he didn't have to. He's done enough things to me that seem genuine. So, you
yeah.
know, but at least that's the best choice for her, and we'll see what happens after that. So, should we get into the biggest news of the episode? Obviously, 1 minute she was there, next minute she was gone. Sierra dumped from the villa for personal reasons, is
Yes.
what they said. So, what is your thoughts on that?
Um, I'm not shocked. I think you called it in the last episode that you think that they are going to do something, because Ariana was seen in comments. Like people were saying, oh,
Mhm.
you guys aren't doing anything. You're just letting her stay. And Ariana kind of commented back and was like, how do you know that we're not doing anything?
Yeah.
Um, so I think that
I.
they've tried their best to limit her airtime in the last couple episodes, because they are a couple of days ahead of us. So I think
Mhm.
those episodes were already filmed, and clearly the minute they could get her out, they did. I was shocked by it. I thought they were gonna try and do something like a vote, or it's like I'm
Yeah,
shocked
like
but
a.
not shocked, because you know, if they did it to Yulisa, it's only fair to do it to Sierra as well, because you know, it was the same crime.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and like we said, or maybe you said it on your page, how the fans are going too far and digging too much into people's lives, but obviously that's not applicable to racism and
right,
slurs and these types of things.
right.
And they'll like not to not do anything, then you're just condoning it and saying
Right.
like this is okay. So you know, she had to have that example made of her, and especially because it was recent, like a year ago, right? It wasn't like you, some people are digging things up when they're like children on the internet, but this was a year ago.
Mhm.
So you know, we feel like she should have known better. And so yeah, I'm not surprised that they did that, and I know a lot of people are happy. Beldasha made a comment about it,
I've seen that.
saying she's not supporting her anymore and unfollowed her.
Mhm.
Her parents put out a
Yeah.
statement. What did you think of her parents' statement?
I thought that it was really well written. It was really well put together. I think again, when we talk about the fans going too far, we're talking about it in a sense of like her parents just said that she's getting death threats to her inbox, and there you guys or people are threatening her family and coming after her family members and things like that. And that's where it's like too far. Like I do
Mm-hmm.
you know, she's going to speak on this, and it will be a learning lesson for her. And apparent, you know, unfortunately they had to make an example out of her, because they did it to Ulysses. It's not necessarily my place to speak on what's offensive to and what's racist to the Asian community. If that's how they view it,
Mm-hmm.
if it's offensive to them and they consider that it racist, you know, then it's racist,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I think she will learn a lesson from it, you know.
Yeah.
I think for Ulissa, from me, because it is my community that I'm a part
Yeah.
of, even though somebody said I'm non-black passing. Bitch, please, the fuck.
Yeah, that was not a nice comment. Unfortunately, we got from someone about when Ricky was giving her feelings on the Huda video, and they said they didn't want to hear Ricky's opinion because she's non-black passing, which was offensive in itself. So
Heard that in my whole entire life. I'm not black passing. I'm like, a bitch is a little light, but that's about it. Like, you know, but whatever. Regardless, can't pay attention to every negative comment. But for me, Ulissa, I think what was so like, I didn't think she was saying it in like to be a racist. Like, I didn't think she was saying it in a racist manner. I could tell, because I know girls like her that just think that because they're part of the culture, or they feel like they, you know, are engulfed in that community, that they can say it, or that they can have a pass.
mhm.
And you could tell by how she was speaking that she says it all the time, that she says it frequently, that it is part of her
Yeah.
everyday vocabulary. She genuinely did not see an issue with it. And but what's conflicting with her is like, you are also, you know, a Trump supporter, and you have all of these views in regards to that. So those two things can't be true at once. So I think for
Yeah.
Melissa, as it was like super blatant, and she was saying it, she was you know, and as opposed and Sierra, I think the validity of the post needed to be verified. Again,
Yeah.
people are hanging on to this DM that, oh, somebody apparently told her it was derogatory, and she ignored it. But somebody sent me a DM that was allegedly from Huda, right? That somebody said,
Yeah.
hey, why did you say that word? And it was like, oh, my baby daddy's black, my baby's black, I can say it, it's just a song, I can say it. And again, I
Yeah.
didn't make a video or bring awareness to this because there's no validity in that DM, just like there's no validity in Sierra's DM. So I don't know why. Because I know in Baldasha's statement, she said, you know, oh, like I initially wanted to give Sierra the opportunity to come out the villa, acknowledge what she did, apologize, you know, because I guess Baldasha was talking about it from a stance of like, well, I don't know if she knew what she was saying or how offensive it is, or that it's even a slur, you know. So she was like, but as snapshots resurfaced, I realized that she knew exactly what she was doing. And again, you have to be talking about this DM that's not verified, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so I think
But
but
we
again,
do agree that the original post was real, which I mean,
yes,
we don't know how to verify, but it looked real. And
definitely.
obviously, Love Island has verified it, and it is
Yes.
real, and that's why they removed her. But yeah, what we're talking about is the people who are claiming they messaged Sierra and got responses from her, because some of them came from different dates, and it was a little confusing. So that's hard to say that is a fact that these conversations happen, but we're not disputing that she said the
No,
slur
absolutely
originally.
no.
It's just all these after conversations
Yeah.
that have
Yeah.
come out now. So
Right. Right. Because like I said, I got a very similar DM, you know, thread that looked like it was Huda defending her saying it. And I'm like, well, this isn't verified.
yeah,
So, you know, you got to take it
yeah,
with a grain
it's
of salt. So, but she was removed. To get back to the point, she was removed. It was very subtle. It's the same way that Ulisa was. It like I think Ulisa, it was like Ulisa had left the villa.
yeah,
Sierra left the villa
and
for personal reasons.
I do think it's a good learning lesson. Like I said last time, to me, I wasn't confused that that was a slur, but I have seen a lot of comments in comment section saying, I didn't know that was a slur. I've used that because I heard someone else use it and I didn't know that was a slur, which I don't think is a great argument, but either way, now like the conversation has been started.
Yeah.
Now people know for sure.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can't it is on you to educate yourself about these things, but from what I've seen in comment sections, and as we know, there's a lot of very young people in these comment sections,
Yeah.
they seem to say that they didn't know, which I don't know if that's Sierra's excuse or what she will try to go with, but now at least people are talking about it and they know it's not appropriate at all. So
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes
not
it is hard to know, like if you're not part of a certain community, like I don't know what every community like considers a slur or what's considered offensive. Like, so, and you don't know. And like you said, it's up to you to educate yourself. And, you know, things that were considered a slur back in the day, or that weren't considered a slur back in the day are now considered a slur in today's day and age, you know? So it's like things are ever changing and evolving, and, you know, it will be a hard lesson for her. She had to learn the hard way, but I bet you she never says it again. I bet you that.
no, she better not. I
Yeah.
mean, now she knows now and everyone else that watches knows. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, these things that you don't expect are going to become a part of the conversation, and they do. And also, for me at least, I didn't think these would be conversations in this day and age where you think everyone knows these things. You think people are aware of like the weight that their words have, and it's shocking to me to see this still going on where you're like, you really didn't, you thought that was okay to do or say,
Yeah.
but apparently it's a conversation that still needs to be had.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully not much longer.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you feel about Nick's reaction to her leaving the villa? He looked sad.
He did look sad. He kind of looked like he'd been crying. I know we talked last time about Hannah and Iris and like, oh, why didn't they leave if they were so devastated? And we've, you know, had comments and talked to other people who are like, that's just not a thing that they want you to do. Like it's rare that someone would leave. And we totally get that because not
Yeah.
only are you leaving a partner, but you're leaving all these opportunities and the money? And
Mhm.
so it's just hard when we're this close to the end, I feel like, because he made such a thing with him and Sierra being on the outside, and they had talked about those plans. They had closed off.
Mhm.
So it's hard that he wouldn't have left, but I don't know what he knows, right? We don't know what they told him.
Yeah,
They might have
true.
not told him anything.
They
So,
may not have. I agree with that. So Hannah and Iris, I was like, I didn't expect either one of them to leave because Iris, it was like 3 days. Hannah,
mhm.
she did have another connection there, so it would have been silly to cut her experience short. We have seen people leave in the past. Nick, of anyone, I would have expected him to leave because we're so close to the end and because it was a closed off situation. Now,
Yeah.
when Lisa left, all I do know is that Jeremiah said that they didn't inform them what happened. Maybe it was a different scenario with Nick because they were so close and you can't just pull her out the villa without giving him an explanation. Some
Mhm.
people was like, maybe they told him what she did and he didn't approve of that. And that's why he stayed, you know? Um,
Mhm.
some people are like, he just
Yeah.
wants to stay in Fiji with his friends. And some people are just like, he just wants the money. But
Mhm.
who knows?
Yeah, it's hard because had they stayed and they were closed off and say like they won, we would all have been voting for them based on this like connection that they seem to have and this like they really were a thing and that they were going to leave that villa and be a thing. So that's where it gets a little tricky where they just let that go so fast, right? Because did you watch season 3? I think it was. There was a couple that was like looked like they were going to win. I think they for sure were going to win. And then his sister passed away a couple days. So she left with him because like why would you stay, right? He's leaving, you're closed off, you really like each other. It was genuine. There was no option. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm like it's 5 days left. If he was like crazy about her, I don't know.
But
Like
I think people's opinion has been that he doesn't like her like that, which
yeah.
some people have said
Fair.
like that Nick treats Sierra how Taylor treated Alandria. And it's like, I never viewed it that way.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting
Sometimes
people's opinion. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like he liked her like a lot? They're having a lot of
it
sex.
I was just gonna say, like, they seem to physically be enjoying each other, but yeah, you did see a difference where he's like talking to Taylor, like, oh, it was 40 seconds, and then she's more like talking. Like, yeah, I definitely didn't see him describe her in the way like I would want to be described if she thought that they were such a solid couple. But
Mhm.
I did say when they were talking about what they were gonna do after, and she was like, "I just want to be with you and watch a movie," and he was like, "And skydiving." Like he was never like right there with her. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait to cuddle in bed, or like I can't wait to just wake up together. Like she was saying that, and he was kind of like,
Ugh.
anyways,
It's
like
so
so I
hard.
could
It's
see
so
that.
hard. It's so hard when you're in those moments, like where you're saying something cute, and then it's like later you realize like he didn't respond. Like he actually didn't give me any validation when
Right?
I said that. Like the one thing that I did notice is when she was like, "So I'm your dream girl," and he was like, he
Yeah.
didn't say
So
yes. He didn't say so. I mean. I don't know.
yeah.
Like, how do you feel, obviously, about, like, now that Nick wasn't there, now that Sierra wasn't there, he starts pulling
Mhm.
Alandria for chats and,
It's so hard because everyone's like, I'm not falling for this propaganda, but we liked them when they had their little smooch before, and we saw a spark, and we thought he looked happier with Alandria. We thought he looked at her in a way he never looked at Sierra. So for the Delulu people like us who already wanted this to be a thing, it's hard. I want to believe it. It's hard. It's getting harder to believe, right? It's like they have no other options at this point,
yeah. That,
and
that was the only option for her. I will say that. That was the only option for her. That was the only
yeah.
option for him. Anything else wouldn't have made sense. I think I said in yesterday's episode, like, if it's between Zach and Elin, I think that Alandria would just be going home.
Yeah.
That would have been the decision, but that changes the
Mhm.
dynamic. I, you know, I do love that they tried to make a story out of it. Like, well, we just keep ending up back here, and maybe this is fate. Like, they keep trying to tell us something first. We have to get coupled up because the Casa. Now we have to get coupled up. because of this, it does seem ironic, right? Or is it like
Uh-huh.
for producers, right? Like they know what the audience wants and they're trying to give it to us. And I think they're trying to make the best out of a shit situation. They obviously didn't
Mm.
expect that they probably expected Sierra and Nick to be the winners. They didn't expect Sierra to have to
Yeah.
leave. So it's like, how do you pivot? Nicolandria. Unfortunately, you tried to give us Nicolandria and then you already told us that it wasn't romantic. So
Mm-hmm.
how do you
But
kind of
we
come
did,
back from there?
yeah, it's hard because when they did sit there and have that, like, it's not romantic conversation, it did not feel right exactly to me. Like,
We
they
were
had
all
just
like,
had this.
yes, it's so romantic. We felt the romance through the screen.
Yeah. I'm like, Nick is not that good of an actor. And it was so jarring to see them go from this passionate kiss to like, it felt like the next morning or it was like the same day. I can't remember, but they were like, yeah, no romance. So it's hard because maybe they did have a conversation that we didn't see, or they just thought to themselves, like, we're going to end up like a Taylor and Clark. Like, if we ditch Sierra for this, we're going to be hated and it's never going to go anywhere. So it's not worth exploring. So
Mm.
I wish they wouldn't have used no romance when they decided not to pursue it. I wish they would have just said, like, it's too late for us. I like Sierra. I want to just put a pin in this. Saying no romance and then a couple days later being like, never mind, they're back on is like
Never mind.
totally
There's totally romance. Like I agree with you.
we
I
didn't
agree
say
that
that.
if they would have said something along the lines of like, that kiss was hot, and you know what? I'm not gonna lie, I felt something, but it's too late for us. Like I'm too
Yeah.
in with Sierra. My friendship with Taylor is I'm in that. You're
Hmm.
still exploring with Taylor. So
Hmm.
unfortunately, we missed our moment type thing. I would believe it more, but like at this point, I'm Nicolandria. I'm not gonna lie, I voted for them. Like I'm Delulu. I did
Yeah.
vote for them as my favorite couple because although I don't know if they have a shot at winning, I think a couple is going home and I'm not ready to see them go home. Like I would like
Yeah.
to see if I see a spark or if I see something. I know we see in the first look for tonight's episode, we see Nick having a
He
conversation
got the
with Ace. He
flutters.
gets the flutters. He said, I thought it was platonic, but I got in bed with her and I felt something. What did you think of Ace kind of pointing out to Shelly before Nick and Alandria, before Nick and Alandria couple back up, he's kind of telling Shelly, like, oh, I think, like, mark my words, like, that's gonna be a thing. Like, I think that they're gonna explore. And
Yeah.
what'd you think of that?
I mean, we already thought Ace was a producer plant, so he's really just sealing the deal now because it did feel a little bit like that might have been. Was that conversation before Sierra left? No,
No,
that
no,
was
no,
after
no.
she
It
left.
was, yeah, it was during the episode
Yeah, yeah.
before they officially recoupled, but they're
Yeah,
sitting there
I think that we knew it
laughing.
was kind of that
Yeah.
way. Yeah, like I think I don't know when that was filmed, obviously, like in terms of like how much time they had since Sierra left to that conversation, but I definitely think he knows, the producers know, everyone knows. Nick and Alandria have to couple up or they're screwed. So I think he definitely could have seen what we've seen all along too, but I do think he's also playing that producer in his head of like, this has got to be a thing. I got to sell it for my friend. So I think it was a
Yes,
little bit of,
right? Like I have to make this a thing because otherwise Nick's going
mhm.
home. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
also like the indication that, oh, now I've seen this all along when Jeremiah has kind of said it
yeah,
was never there. Hannah already said it was never there. Everybody has always seen it as a friendship. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, nope, we've seen this all along.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. We've seen it. We've seen it,
yeah,
but also are we delusional? Are we
yeah,
delusional? So I don't know.
yes.
I don't know. I don't know. I like it.
What?
I wish they had more time, but I don't. It makes me question Nick's genuineness because how do you
Mhm.
go from being in a closed off situation where
Yeah.
you were smacking cheeks every night to being open to Alandria and then so it makes me question Nick's genuineness. I can't help but question, like, you're here for the game, you're here for the
Totally.
money, you're here to win. And Olandra, you were just pissed at Sierra for standing behind Taylor. And now you
Yeah.
snatching her whole man.
Uh-huh. And like the fact of the matter is they very well, Nick and Sierra could have been humping that morning and then literally that night he's in bed with Alandria, like the same day. And it's hard to believe you could truly care about someone and get flutters that night. It's just not adding up. So,
Yeah.
but if he did like her all along and it just didn't with Taylor and Sierra wasn't gonna be able to explore that. Now he can, guilt-free. Maybe that's
I
what
would
it
like
is.
to see. I'm very curious to see the dynamic tonight. Guilt
Mhm.
free. No, I don't know what they're doing with this baby challenge in the
Oh
first
gosh,
look.
yeah.
I'm so annoyed. Has that been on another season? No.
Yeah, they did
Okay.
it season 4 or yeah, 4 was the last time. I
Okay.
want to say 4, yeah. It's
Um,
annoying, yeah.
it's
I don't know what happened. A movie night, the tweet challenge. We want all of our old things back, and this one it has been around before, so it isn't just
do
brand
you
new. But
think we're getting a movie night?
no, especially with Sierra gone, like what is the point, right? No one, there's nothing to show. These people barely care about each other. They don't care what they were doing at Casa. They don't care what's been going on. So
The
I don't
only
think
thing
we
to
are.
show is Hurricane Huda and what she was saying about the girls behind their back.
Uh-huh. Oh, we did get a new Amayaism in this episode. Die skiving. Did you ever hear that?
Helen!
You missed. Oh my gosh, she's so funny. She
But
was like,
guys,
if I can, she did. She's like, if I can survive Love Island, I can survive Die skiving. And Elan was like, okay. He didn't even say anything. He just let it go. It was so funny. So
I didn't even
she
hear
had
that. I didn't
yeah.
even hear that.
Oh, she's got her own language, that's for sure, and we
That is
love
too
her for
funny.
it. Someone was saying like Amaya could make like $1 million off merch easily because she has so many sayings. So
Yeah, which she
hopefully someone
probably
is
will.
getting that going for her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she probably will, honestly, because she has so many like unique things that are literally she
hmm
created and came up with. So
You know what I loved about this episode?
what?
Shelly and Ace's talk, a real talk about their past,
I
and this is
feel
what we've
like
been missing,
we
right?
got a lot of talks this episode.
hmm
I will say that. I feel like we started seeing real conversations happening.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
deep conversations about their past and their upbringing and some sad things that had happened to them. And I mean, I don't want to think the producers are manipulating us like this. Like, obviously, with the America, we're not big fans of Shelley and Ace. We feel like they haven't been real. So I think that this conversation was real. Obviously, that's the real stories, but. I'm glad I'm glad that this challenge happened where they sort of learned where they stood with America because I think they realized that playing it like trying to play it wasn't the way to go. Just be real. Like people,
Yeah.
that's what we love this show. There isn't usually time to be fake and produce things. It's just real conversations, real feelings. That's what we want to watch.
Yeah.
So I feel like this episode, as messy as it has been, this is like feeling a little bit more like Love Island. So
Yes, I will say that too. I said the same thing. I was like, you know what? These are the conversations we've been wanting to see. Like
mhm.
productions, like showing us very surface level conversations, like
Yeah.
manipulated conversations where we can't even really get the context. So I do feel like we saw some genuine conversations happening this episode, and at the very least,
Mhm.
we have solid couples now, right? Like we have how many?
Yes.
Six, five or six? Six.
5, I think we have Huda and Chris, Alandria and Nick, Ace and Shelly, Amaya and Brian. Who am I missing?
Taylor and
Taylor
Clark
and Clark.
and Iris and
5?
Pepe.
Okay, 6, yeah.
Six. Yeah. So at least we have some solid couples to where
Mhm.
they like each other,
Yes.
they have chemistry with each other, and now we can I mean, now we can start maybe getting in those conversations and
Yeah.
some fun and, some Love Island-ness,
What did you think about their little speeches, the women, when they picked the men? Like, I thought they were all pretty uneventful, but I don't get mad at me, but I did.
Caution!
Disclaimer,
Meta
caution, negative.
commentary incoming.
Sorry. I just found her speech all about Jeremiah. Every sentence was, this is new to me. This is new to me. Like, we know what she's trying to say. We know she's trying to say, I was with a bomb before and this guy's better. And that was all Jeremiah's fault and this guy's great.
Mhm.
And I just don't think that's necessary. Like, just focus on Chris. Like, you don't need to say, this is, like, she's like, this is a man. And, like,
Yeah, he's a
everything was
real
a
man.
little
I
dig.
said that too. Everything's a dig to him. This
hmm
is a real man. I've never had this before. And it's like you can be giddy and happy about your connection. That's
hmm
great. I think her and Chris are really good together. Um,
hmm
but you don't have to take a dig at Jeremiah. It's not necessary. Why are you still
No,
taking?
and I don't know why she's saying, he's done all these things for me that no one's ever done before. Like she was just yelling at him for doing one pancake and no flour, and we haven't seen him like do any gestures like what
No
she got mad
date,
at.
right?
No,
No.
I mean maybe we're just not seeing it, right? But I do feel like producers are trying to show us good sides of Huda and this good relationship. So I feel like if they're not showing us that stuff, we're missing out. So I hope they're not hiding that. But
I think they would maybe something as important as like a date. I think they would
yeah,
show that. That's usually something that they show. I do think it's interesting because we did hear like why aren't you doing more to Jeremiah? And it seems like Jeremiah did more than what Chris is doing. I don't really know what Chris is doing. Um he hasn't planned any dates or done anything outside of breakfast, which is what Jeremiah was doing too. So
yeah, I just didn't understand why the whole speech had to be like comparing, but she knows Jeremiah's watching probably, so why not get a couple days in there?
right.
But I know in the preview for tonight's episode, they're making it look like Hoda and Chris are fighting. I don't know. These previews, you never know what to believe. I'm sure it's nothing and they're probably fine. They just try to make it look dramatic, but I
Yeah,
mean,
to me it looked like she's going to be a little bossy, which we did see with Jeremiah, right? Like telling him what to do, and he kind of said, "Don't speak down on me. Don't, don't talk to me like your kid." So it looks like maybe Chris is going to have a little bit of that, but she is. It does look like in the preview she's going to ask him, is there
yeah,
anything I can work on, or is there anything I need to work on?
I'm
And
sure that'll go over well.
she's gonna, and it looks like he's gonna tell her, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that he's going to vocalize what's bothering him, which I think was a major problem that Jeremiah had, right? Like he wasn't
yeah,
able to vocalize properly what he needed from her and like the boundaries. So I think that, like I said, Chris has a more seems I don't know, a more
he's
calming
definitely, yeah.
her, so maybe he will be able to verbalize it in a
But we
way
also
that
haven't,
he's able to receive, you know?
yeah, we haven't seen, because I felt like Jeremiah was pretty calm at the start. Like we haven't seen Chris be with Huda as long as Jeremiah was. So it's hard to compare the two. So that's why I don't want to
Right.
compare the two.
No,
She was in her speech,
you're right.
but so it's hard not to. But
You're right.
I've seen a lot of comments from the clip from tonight just saying, well, she's a mom, that's why she's bossy. But I know lots of moms that are not bossy. I know lots of non-moms that are bossy. Like it's
Yeah.
not one and the same. So
Yeah.
that's just a silly
But
argument that
also
they
doesn't
keep
make it
using.
right, right? If that is something that
Yeah.
you need to work on, like because maybe you are a mom and you're used to being you having an authority figure, so you are used to like telling your daughter what to do or instructing
Yeah.
people in ways how to, move with your daughter. Like
Hmm.
you might have a little bossy element that you don't even realize you have. And I think that,
Yeah.
Jeremiah kind of called it out but he didn't say verbalized it differently, right? Like, cause I think Jeremiah was very calm. I think he was just very passive and he didn't know how to communicate his feelings. But instead of saying bossy, he used the terms like, don't talk to me like a kid, or don't,
Yeah.
I don't like when you say good boy, like I feel like a dog. Like, so he said it in that sense where it looks like Chris is saying bossy, which I think are like,
Hmm.
one and the same. So we'll see how they handle it
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I would love for things to just get better and better for them and see a change and growth in her, and then we can celebrate that. I know lots of people feel like they've seen that already, so we're gonna keep watching, and we are, yeah, like excited about these couples. I feel like that's how I feel. So
Yeah, if you had to pick a winner right now, who would you pick?
that's so hard. I want to say Amaya and Brian because I just like them the best, but I know that's not always the way we're supposed to do it. But it's hard to. People say that like they're not a genuine couple, but Amaya, I feel like she has been the most genuine there, and he's been very genuine too. So I like Shelly and Ace too, but they've had a not so genuine road. It feels like, and I love
I
Nick and
think
Alandria, but
I think that's from Aces. Like I think that
yeah,
for me, Shelly's collateral damage, and it's from Aces. And I know a lot of people are like, they're gonna vote Shelly and Ace because they've been at it the longest and they're two
hmm
OGs, right? And that's typically the pattern of the show, right? Two OGs
hmm
win, or at
hmm
least one OG and a bombshell that came in very, very early, like Nick and Sierra.
yeah,
That's just like the pattern of things. I know when I had said, oh, Amaya and Brian or Nicolandria, those are two OGs, right? Like, oh, you've
hmm
lost the plot. And I'm like, no, the plot of Love Island is not who's been in the couple the longest. It's who's the most
yeah,
genuine. And if I think Amaya is the most genuine, rather whatever, and I want to vote for her, then I'm entitled to vote for her because I think she's the most genuine, you know?
Well, I do think Huda's gained the most followers, and I know Leah was the same last year, and obviously she ended up winning, so I can see it going that way for sure. But
Leah
I think
didn't
it
win.
won't be. Oh, she did?
No, Cordell and Sabrina won.
What? Why
Cordell
am I
and
thinking?
Sabrina won. Hey, Leah did not
Are you
win.
serious?
Yeah,
Why am I?
Cordell and Sabrina won.
Why am I thinking? I'm just remembering myself making a clip of like, did they come in second then?
They came in second.
Oh, okay. I'm just like, I just remember making a clip being like, well, because they didn't realize that they were really liked because, Leah had a bumpy ride in there and they were like hated. And I just remember her being so excited. And I was thinking that was her winning face, but it must have just been her coming in second
It,
face. So
it was
I
her.
just
It was
liked
her.
all the people last season. So they're
It
all
was,
winners to me.
it
So.
was her being, honestly, the face that you're remembering is her being so happy that Serena won because that was her girl, So she was just as
Well,
happy
no, it
that her
was.
bestie won.
Yes, I agree with that. I know she loved Serena, but no, it was just her and Miguel. It must have been when they announced them as second, but for some reason, she was just so shocked that I was like, she must have won. But
Yeah, no,
now people are gonna be like, didn't you watch? I'm like, I just watched every second of it, and I still forgot
yeah.
what happened
But
last
the
year.
thing is that they've all had so much success and gotten so popular
Totally.
from it that you do be
I'm
like,
like, they
well,
all
who
won
won?
to
They
me.
all won in the end, technically.
Yeah.
But Leah was the most followed initially
Uh-huh.
out of the villa, and I
Mhm.
feel like everybody has seen a lot of growth this season. Jeremiah's at 1 million, Hannah's at 1 million, Jalen's almost at
Mhm.
2 million, Huda's at 2 million, Sierra was on her
Mhm.
way to 1 million until all of that happened. Shelly and Alandria are not at 1 million yet, which I think is
Uh-huh.
completely unfair. So you guys go follow them on Instagram and on
Yeah.
TikTok. But I think as this show just continues to get bigger, like we're just gonna see, this massive growth. I think Jeremiah said he went from 44 followers to 1 million. Like that's
What?
crazy. Yeah.
That is crazy. Well, yeah, most of the people that make it to the end do so well and are so loved. It's like, it does matter who wins, but, in terms of the social media of it all and the influencer type, like, I don't think it really matters who wins. Obviously, whoever comes in second, I'll think won in a year from now. So it doesn't matter at
Does
all.
it matter? That's the
So,
question. But
we love them all and they're all winners. So
yeah, they're all winners. So we'll see. We'll
we
see.
really did like,
I don't want Nicolandria to go home yet. I would like to
no.
see how that plays out.
So no one's going home tonight, right?
No, I think
No.
Thursday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think it'll be?
Taylor and Clark.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think Taylor and Clark.
I have seen like people say they like them, but not enough. It's not like a
Not
movement,
enough.
you
But
know?
this,
Mhm.
no, because we already voted. So it doesn't matter. Like
Oh, yeah,
everybody
it's too
already
late.
voted. It's too late. So even if this episode changes people's minds, it's too late. The vote's
I
in.
hate that they do that, but I know they're filming a couple of days, so they have to. But yeah, things change in an episode so fast. So it's like then our decisions that we made 2 days ago, it's like, wait, we want to take it back.
Wait, I take it back. Yeah. So
I know it's hard. Well, should we talk about Real Housewives of Miami?
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so we're a little behind. We usually put this out last week, but like the Love Island content, the 4th of July, we were just like so much going on this week. It's hard to keep up with. And the people keeping up with both Love Islands, they are like true heroes. It's
True
just wild.
heroes. Yeah. Oh, not all
We're
heroes
thinking,
wear capes.
we're on the fence. We're thinking about doing Love Island UK. So let us know if you guys are watching it because we want to watch it. It's just a scary commitment to make. So
Yeah,
once you're in it, you're in it.
we'll get that itch, We'll get that
Uh-huh.
villa itch after this season is over.
Yeah, we might
But
miss it.
if you guys are watching it, let us know
Mhm.
in the comments.
Yes, because yeah, it's fun to watch. It's more just like we like to get stuff out fast for you guys, and that's one's already like halfway over, so we'd have to catch up really fast. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yes,
It's all out already.
right? Or like I did hear there's an American on it, like making
Oh,
some waves.
okay, because I've always
Tony,
wondered,
I
like,
think.
how come we see like people from the UK on the American version, but
Yeah.
the UK version there's no Americans. So
Yeah, I think it's smart to kind of like cross promote, like get more of the audience. So,
Yeah, for
but
sure. Okay, well,
anyways,
we'll see. You guys let us know if you guys are
yeah,
watching
let us know.
of
Let
Love.
us know if you're watching that. Let us know if you're watching Bachelor in Paradise. Obviously, we're gonna cover Perfect Match. What else? Oh, Real Housewives of Orange County. That's one of my faves. But let us know if you're watching it. Okay. Miami. Going back to
Miami.
Miami. Obviously, it starts with Gertie and Julia talking about their fight. Are you Team Gertie, Team Julia?
Team Gertie.
Yeah, me too. I just think Julia is being so silly, and I don't think as much as it makes good TV, throwing water at someone is just not okay. Like it is technically assault. I think you can get charged with it, and I'm like, I might just be like crossing that line, you know. But they
Yeah.
do that on these shows all the time. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm team Gertie all the way. I think Julia acted
Mhm.
completely out of line and then she's victimizing herself, you know?
Yes, totally.
So
Yeah, it didn't have to go to that level. I feel like Gertie was keeping it fine, cool. Like they were just talking, and I mean, it gets heated, but throwing
yeah.
water just takes it to another
I
level.
don't know.
So,
Julia seemed maybe like really, really drunk in that argument. Like I think, and that's not an
yeah.
excuse, but she did seem really drunk. But even in this, to be like, oh well, I apologized to her, and she didn't, she didn't text me back. Like, oh, I want to text you back either because you acted crazy.
Uh-huh.
So
I know. Yeah, it's gone way too far. I feel like this fight. It's just like they always
when
do
it's
that.
over, Ashley, I don't even know what the fight is over.
A
Like,
cruise. Someone went to a cruise, they didn't go to a dinner, and it's just literally like completely blown out of proportion. Same with Lisa and Larsa's fight. So Lisa and Larsa are fighting. Obviously, Lisa had to go back for her dad's funeral, which was really sad. And then she sent Larsa a photo of her dad in the casket, which when people are going through a death like that, you do some crazy things. Grief hits people differently.
right.
Did you think that was too much of Lisa to do,
I think
or?
I think I again, like, what's to say what's too much when you're dealing with like a grief? I do think that it's ridiculous that they're even fighting during this time and what they're fighting about during this time. I think that in moments
Mhm,
like this, you pause whatever drama you have going on. In this situation, Larsa has been like very, very messy.
yeah,
Originally I was on Larsa's side, and then it's like as the episodes go on, I'm very much Team Lisa because Larsa, why in a moment where she's not here because she is at her dad's funeral, are you bringing up stuff in front of the group that is irrelevant? Like, you know what I mean?
mhm,
Like she's not here to defend herself.
yeah.
I, I love when they were all trying to figure out like who told Lisa. And Gertie was like, it was me.
And
I
that's why I love Gertie.
she was like, I told her. Like,
Yeah.
I just think it's inappropriate. And I think that all Larsa should be saying to Lisa is, you're right. It was an
Mhm.
inappropriate time to bring that up. I'm sorry. That's it. You shouldn't say nothing else. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I thought like I think it was the last episode, but it was gross of Larsa to sort of come at Lisa for going to Milan for this fashion show when her dad was sick, because it's like Larsa knows better than anyone. The show is their job. I'm assuming they were set up from the show to do this fashion show as part of the filming. Like
right,
it's a big deal to cancel and change these things, right?
right,
Like, as much as you'd say, "Oh, I would be there," but we don't know. Lisa wasn't that close with her dad. I'm sure she thought she had more time with him,
sure.
and I think that was just gross of Larsa to act like that and just continue to act like this and not give her any grace. Like it's
Yeah,
not her place to
yeah,
decide how Lisa handles it.
I
So,
agree.
um, and they're really making a thing out of Jody's eyes and like saying he was on drugs and fighting. Lisa claims he never gets mad, never yells. Uh, but then Larsa obviously had the backup of the designer saying he did yell.
Yeah.
I don't know what really went
But
down.
obviously, like, it's kind of a situation, right? Like, you're not going to air out your couple's dirty laundry. Like, you're going to try
Yeah.
and keep your fights between you guys if you can,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And again, Larsa, you messy bitch. Like, why is it your place to go tell the whole table that my man is on drugs and that he's and that he was yelling in front of everyone? Like, Lisa's better than me. I
Mhm.
would have popped her, okay? Like,
Yeah.
What's
That,
happening in your mouth? You know, because it's like, what are you? I mean, granted, this is what the Messy Housewives is about, but it's like,
mhm.
why? What does it? What does her man yelling and screaming and them getting into a fight have to do with why you and Lisa are beefing? What does that have to do with
Mhm.
why we're not getting along? You know?
Yeah, she's just trying to like throw him under the bus a
Yeah.
little bit.
Right.
I thought it was funny when Lisa was like, I like his big eyes, like he's like a Furby. Like, is that a quality you're looking for in a man? Like, resembles a Furby? Because like,
The
that's
Furby's
not
a
really.
gremlin, actually.
Like,
Seriously.
when I watch Gremlins, I'm not like, those are sexy little creatures. Like, I don't
I
think
gotta
that's
give me
the.
one of the.
They are kind of cute though. They are cute. Like,
I don't know. Like Furbies are just like to me
creepy.
that's what a Labubu is now. It's like what a Furby
Yeah.
back in the day because I think Labubus are so ugly. I'm like, what is this? Why does everybody want this? Like I thought somebody was joking when they were like, oh, like, do you know what a Labubu is? And I was like, that's not a real name for anything. And it's like these things like you know what a Labubu is, obviously.
Yeah,
Like
sadly, I do.
yes, and
I didn't.
I'm
I
not
don't have one.
okay, because that was my next question. Like, I'm not on the
Lucky, I have like
Labubu.
10 on my backpack.
Yeah,
Just
like I'm
kidding.
not on the Labubu trend. I'm like,
No, I
why do we like these?
when I first heard about them, I like went on Amazon and there was like a bunch for sale, but those are fake. So I didn't order one,
Yes, but
thankfully.
I was
I
like,
wasn't
that's
going
not a
to. I was
Labubu.
just like,
That's a Lafufu. Like, I was like,
yeah.
my friend wanted one so bad, right? My friend wanted one so bad, and I just happened to look because my niece, who's like 3, had
Yeah.
a birthday party, and I guess they put Labubus in their party favor bag.
What?
So I was like, oh look, like I
Like a
remember.
real one?
Apparently it was a Lafufu. So I was like, oh, is this little thing you've been dying to get? Like my niece had one in her goodie bag, and she's like, that's a Lafufu. I was like, excuse me.
Yeah, apparently the real ones is like so hard to get. You have to wait in line or something. But yeah, then what, as a grown woman, what do we do with them
You
exactly?
put them on
Like,
your purse. They're like a purse accessory. Like you put them on your bags. You put them on your.
so you
That's
go
what
out
I've.
in public with a Labubu on your purse.
When I tell you that I have not been out in public and not seen one, yes,
Are you
everybody has them
serious?
on their bag. Like it's like an accessory. Like you know how decorating your bag with like a bunch of keychains was like a thing. Now it's
Mhm.
the Labubu. Like they'll have like 2 or 3 of them on there, and they dress them up, girl. They put them in like girl,
They have
your
outfits.
Labubu, the Labubus have. I'm not lying. Like I went down a rabbit
I
hole. I'm
believe
like,
you.
what is this? They have like Gucci outfits, Louis Vuitton outfits for your Labubu. Like your Labubu got
Are you
Chanel.
serious?
Like be shitting on bitches. Be shitting on all the other Labubus. Like,
So if I had a Labubu, it would dress better than me. That's just
yes, you cannot
embarrassing.
have a naked Labubu. Are you kidding me? And then they have like exclusive ones that are like super hard to get. And yeah, they be dressing them up and all kind of stuff.
So when I come to LA next week, if I don't have a Labubu, I'm gonna be out of style.
We're both going to be out of style because I don't
Okay.
have one either.
We're gonna feel. I was asking Ricky today, like, what shoes are the people wearing now? Like, what's cool? Because I just wear sneakers and, and like, I really am waiting for wedge heels to come back. So I think I'm there. So
I think wedge heels are back, right?
are they?
Like yes, I think
Okay.
wedge heels are back.
Okay. All right. Well, we need some Labubus and some wedge heels. But how do we get onto Labubu? Oh, Furbies, right?
Yes,
Like, how did we
Furbies,
get here?
Lisa's boyfriend and his eyes. Yes, that's how we got here.
Oh. See, I think that Lisa dated herself a bit there. She should have said he looks like a Labubu. That would have been cool. Although, wait, they filmed this before Labubus happened, so we'll give her a pass on that.
No,
Because
and
Furbies is
Labubus
old
look
school.
like Labubus look like monsters. They look like little
Yeah, they
monsters.
do. Yeah, they're not as cute as a Furby, I don't think. What did you think of Kiki and her dad? I thought her daughter is so funny. I think, would she say, I
So
want to go to
cute.
like a party or something? I'm like, yeah, me
So
too.
cute. Kiki's my favorite. Like she's my favorite character on the show.
Mhm.
And I have friends who have had like very that come from very strict households like that. Like you know, if you show your kneecap, like they just think you just you know? But obviously
Mhm.
her dad has to be very proud of her at this point. Like, right? Like she's done very well for
Mhm.
herself. She's
Yeah.
successful. She has a brother or a sibling that's the same age as her kid. Like,
That's the hard part for me where it's like I understand that that's their culture and he didn't approve of her modeling, but then it's like it seems like he has a lot of kids and he's still out there having a good time getting
oh no,
people
it doesn't
pregnant.
apply to the men. Are you kidding me? Like,
Oh,
it
okay.
only applies to the women. What are you talking about?
Well, the women have different standards. That just does not seem
Yeah,
fair. Yeah.
duh.
Yeah, it was a little sad that he didn't know that because she has an older son and he
Mhm.
didn't know he was like in college and but they have a strained relationship, like she said, or they did and now they're good. But yeah, he seems too busy with his own activities probably.
Yes.
But yeah, Kiki's my favorite too.
Yeah.
She's only like a friend of, I don't really know why. I feel like we see a lot of her life, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
weird.
I think
But
probably by next season she'll probably be like a full-time
yeah.
housewife for sure.
Yeah, we like her.
Yeah.
So the baby shower for Julia, I thought that the speech that Adriana and Alexia did was so like from Bridesmaids, you know.
Literally what I said. Literally what I said. Like, actually, can I say something? Like, why
It
is
was
she get
so
up
funny,
there to say something? I'm so confused.
right?
Like, you didn't throw this party. Like,
No, she was totally taking over the mic, and yeah, it was a funny dynamic to see. It totally reminded me of that scene. But the baby shower was a little dramatic with Lisa crying and leaving, which I understand. I mean, she's already going through a hard time with her
yeah.
dad, right? So you're already on edge, and then you find out they're all talking about you, but Gertie wasn't there, right? No,
No,
she was
Gertie
away.
wasn't there. Mm-mm.
Hmm. And obviously not getting along with Julia, so it wouldn't make sense for her to be there anyway.
Even though Julia said she invited Gertie, even though
Yeah.
they just had this explosive fight. Again, time and a place for everything. At this woman's baby shower is not the time or the place
No.
to be bringing this up. So I would have left if I was Lisa too.
Mhm.
We did get to meet Stephanie Shosha.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I almost totally forgot to
Yeah, this is the
mention
first
her.
episode that she appeared in, which I think she's great. Like, I'm trying to take some notes out of her handbook. Like, what did
Right?
you do again to live this life? Because I'm trying to live it. I'm trying to live this life.
Real estate is the way to go. You gotta get in, buy up some real estate.
I gotta get in and mess with somebody who's 30 years older than me.
That
That's
too,
where I get
yes.
in first.
If they're already in real estate and then you just happen to fall into it with them, I mean, it's a good way to go because
Okay.
yeah, she's doing well. She flew a private jet to pick up her dog from another city. So that was just like an errand for her, which was so funny.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the type of rich I'd like to be.
Yeah. I know, right? I think I can't remember what the name of the company was. I think it's their last name. But yeah, they do real estate. So I'm not sure what they like they must be doing like hotels or something cuz they got their own plane. She's got designer everything. Like they got money. So
Money, money, money,
yeah.
money. There's levels and
Yeah.
she up here. What did you think of like Lisa saying to her, like, I want to be your friend because you have a jet and you have
Yeah. I'm like, Lisa, play it cooler. Like, you gotta pretend like you actually like her, and then you ask to come on the jet.
I don't know if that's just like rich people talk and maybe I need to stay in my fucking lane. But like I think like maybe because Lisa is already rich to an
Hmm.
extent, like she feels like it's okay to say that. Like, well,
Yeah.
I'm rich. I don't have a plain rich, but I'm also rich, so I can't possibly be using you for what you have because I already have a lot too, you
Hmm.
know? I don't know.
Yeah. I think she should have just like made friends with her first and then asked about that. But I'm sure that you'd be on edge a bit not knowing if people really want to be your friend or if it's just because of what you can do for them. But
Right.
yeah, they all have money, so it's not that weird, you know?
Yeah, they don't got private jet to go pick up your dog money, but they
True.
got money.
That's a whole other level.
Well, I
But
don't know because
she,
Lisa's ex-husband was very well off too. So I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, she has money. I think, yeah, I feel like they all do. It's so hard to tell sometimes on these shows though, because sometimes you think someone has money and then the next season they're literally like bankrupt and going to jail. So I can never tell. It's like
Seriously.
they say they got money, they're paying cash at a furniture store. You're like, damn, they're rich, and then no, they had nothing.
That's
So
true. That's very true.
mhm.
You can't believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Isn't that the saying? I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
trying to be like Amaya.
Yes. Let's start our own sayings. Like,
Yeah, like
why
is
why
it
be a why be a Furby when you could be a Labubu? That's not a good one.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or we have to say it like Amaya would say it. Maybe I'm not your Furby. So go, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I'm
You're
not
so cute.
everybody's Furby, so get yourself a Labubu. I don't know.
Oh, she's so funny. Now I'm just excited to watch her and see what she says next because she
Yeah,
has
I'm
so
gonna
many
pay
clips.
like close attention. Somebody had pointed out something else she said that was like a bar, but I missed it. I think she said it towards the end. Something about sugar rush and candy. I wrote it down too
Ugh,
because I
she
was like,
has
I'm
so
not gonna
many.
keep getting a sugar rush off the word candy that you're feeding me. That's what she said. Something
Yeah.
like that.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
bar.
I know it's so hard because now I'm like, I just know next season people are gonna come in like we're just literally gonna have saying after saying after saying after saying because they see what works and they try to recreate it, but it doesn't go as well the second time. It has to be genuine.
Yes.
So come up with your own
Anybody
shtick.
who
That's a
is
Maya's.
like any future Love Island contestants, just go ahead and delete any DMs you have now,
Hmm.
any text threads you have, and just start over. Could delete your social
Hmm.
media, create a new one right now because
Hmm.
there might be something in there from 2011 and these new fans don't play, so just
Yeah.
delete it. So we don't have
I'm
to
so
go through all of this next season.
I wonder if there's anything in the contract where they're like liable for that because I mean I don't think it's affected the show that much, but it definitely could affect the show, like, and cost them money if they had to bring in new people, or I don't know, I would think they might put something in the contract, but I don't know if they can cover your past. Like, I'm sure they can say you can't post or say certain things going forward, but I don't know how they can ever guarantee. Like, I would not doubt that some of these people don't even remember they did or said what they did. Although with Sierra's, it was pretty
I
recent.
think
So,
Elisa's was very recent too, but I'm
yeah.
not sure. I don't know the dates of hers,
Hmm.
but yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they put like a clause in there where it's like make sure if you have ever spoken publicly like this, I think you like you said, Ulisa has probably said it lots before. Same with Sierra. This wasn't like a one-off thing. So it's like if you know you've spoken this way to people,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more out there. Like you should not come on this show. So
Yeah, for sure.
hopefully they find a way to fix it. But that's next year's problem, not this
That's
year's.
next year. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I mean, we've been saying this for literally 5 seasons on Love is Blind. Like, figure your shit out before you go on the show, and they never do. There's all like, who would have thought you could go on there with secret kids and try to get away with that? So
But I think sometimes,
people,
honestly, and I don't think in this situation, this specific situation, it was the case, but I do think that sometimes production is aware of the scandal and it gets people to watch the show because
yeah,
even everything with Sierra going around, like, I can't tell you how many people have called me. They're like, I don't watch this show, but like, what's going on with, like, keep saying hearing
yeah,
stuff about this Sierra girl. So it is like, getting them, and even though their new viewers are annoying, 40% new viewership are annoying, that's money in their pocket. That's a
yeah,
huge increase in viewers. Y'all annoying me,
yeah.
so I can only imagine you annoying people down to the peacock, okay?
Yeah, imagine their DMs. So that's the thing. If don't bug the contestants, go right to Peacock and give them your complaints. They can handle it. They can pay
Yeah,
someone to read those. So,
right. Jeez.
yeah.
Anyway, was that all that happened on Miami, or we got some
I was,
more?
yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah,
The
that
the
it
baby
wasn't.
shower.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't that
Lisa left.
thrilling of an episode, but they get
Yeah,
juicier as they come on, as they go. So
yeah, I enjoy watching it. It's like
yeah,
it's light, It's not like
Stephanie Shosho's my new favorite though, for sure.
yeah, I liked her a lot. She
Yeah,
was good.
yeah. They
Yeah.
picked Julia and her partner picked her to threesome with.
They were oh yes.
Threesome with. I mean, I assume that they did that because she's obviously you're not gonna pick one of your closest friends.
Yeah.
I
Maybe.
thought like the games were unique games for baby shower. So
Yeah, I know. I was a little worried with the diaper thing because I'm like, I've seen that before, and I would
yeah,
not want to do that. But yeah, yeah. There's something else that they said at that. Oh, I just thought it was funny when she was kind of like, this is my first time meeting these people, and like they want to have a threesome with me, and like they're talking about like caskets and dead dads and all this stuff. And she
yeah,
was like, it was a lot for a
yeah,
first
it
brunch
was.
with these
But she was
people.
like, "This is my initiation."
Yeah. Yeah, you might as well start out strong and just get right into it.
Get right
So,
into it. Everyone's screaming, crying, storming out. Like, welcome, yeah, welcome.
yes.
That's what you're signing up for. So here we go. But yeah,
Yes.
so
Yeah,
overall,
it's good.
very good episode. We have another Love Island tonight. You guys know we have Love Island
Yeah.
tonight, so we'll see you guys as soon as we can for tonight's episode, the Nicolandria of it all, and see what happens with these
Hmm.
final 6 couples. Give us your best guess of who you think's going home Thursday night, what
Yeah.
couple you think's going home, and who you want to win.
Yes. Tell us all your thoughts and don't forget to give us a nice rating because some people are mad at us, might not. So, not to give people ideas, but if you're listening this far, you're probably like us, I hope.
Yeah,
So,
you're listening. This where you like us. Give us a rating, and because some people have been giving some rating because we don't share the same opinions, which we don't think is fair. So
no. It's kind of mean, but I'm like, I get it. When I listen to a podcast and they don't agree with me, it is a little annoying, but then you're also like, why would everyone agree with everything? I think that's just weird.
do you
It's
go leave
fun.
a 1-star rating?
No.
Exactly.
And I don't leave a comment. I just talk to you and you guys on here. So
Yeah, yeah. If you guys
yeah.
want to be mean, come to my page. Okay, go on my socials and be mean to me because I got something for that ass. Okay, on here I keep it cute. Okay, because Ashley, I'm like she don't have to partake in my antics, but what's that? Like,
I'll partake a little bit. So
take a little bit. I'm like, come on over to my page. Yeah, got something for that ass.
I love it. But yes, like, subscribe, rate, all that good stuff. And we'll be back probably tomorrow. So we'll see you
Bye,
then.
guys.
Thanks, guys.